think about it. We already have so much, and it doesn't mean you don't want to shoot for more, but it's just like we talk about so often on this show. Accepting your body, as an example, as it is now, is a prerequisite for changing it. And it's the same for your intent. Hey, Empowered Vegan Lifers. Ella here with Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Ella, how are you?
Do you like how I say your name? Hey, Stephanie.
Stephanie, I do like it. I feel very announced. I feel like I've been announced.
Does anybody call you Steph? Or you hate
You know
that?
what? No, actually, I like it. And when I was growing up, nobody called me Stephanie. Everybody called me Steph. And then when I became an adult, everybody called me Stephanie, and hardly anybody calls me Steph. It's very strange.
Well, I'm so glad to know that. And I can't believe I haven't asked you that, because sometimes it'll come out because I just feel like calling you Steph. But then I've never heard anybody else call you Steph. And I'm like, oh, maybe she really hates being called Steph. So I'm not going to do that because I always hear Stephanie. But why didn't I just ask? That is so silly.
I don't know. That is really funny though. I mean, we've been together for years. We've been together for years.
Do I have permission?
You can call me whatever you want, Cece.
Cheese ball.
That's perfect.
Steph. Okay, cool. I am so excited I can call you Steph because I really like
anytime.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I like it too.
Sweet. One other thing that's just popped in my head. At Vegan Life Coach Academy, we have an awesome member, Jennifer, who put up this post about a site where you can get temporary tattoos that last like 2 weeks. And you can get them, we talk about affirmations and mantras a lot. So you can get your affirmation or mantra tattooed on you that'll last for possibly 2 weeks. And we always talk about maybe putting them on Post-it notes and putting them by your bed. And what better way to remember if you have it tattooed on your arm?
I know. And I thought that's so much classier than my Sharpie. Because I use this Sharpie and write it on my hand. But a tattoo would be much classier. Much classier than my Sharpie.
I love that you wrote a Sharpie, I love that you use a Sharpie, because that reminds me of my days at Yard House. If I'm going to reminisce back on football Sundays when we used to go to the Yard House every Sunday, and that was my social time, and we had some awful vegan wings and vegan beer, and we just had so much fun. Mondays were not as fun. This was several years ago, and I tended to overdo it a little bit. But one day when we were overdoing it, and Johnny was there, Johnny from Sovikiek. So I started writing vegan on my arm, on my forearm with a Sharpie. And so we all started doing, tattoos on our arms with Sharpies and other places. And what happened? I went and got vegan tattooed on my arm.
I love that.
So that's where that came from. And then when I read Jennifer's post, I was like, oh, I am craving ink. So what did I do? I texted my tattoo guy right away.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So when's your appointment?
I can pretty much go anytime. He's got his own shop. And I know I want something big, but I'm going to start with something that I know I want that's a little smaller. And I want to tell you, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I want to tell you, but I'm going to leave it a surprise.
Okay.
For everybody else.
All right. We've been talking about getting matching tattoos for a long time.
We need to start that conversation again.
We do. We have not delved into that for a few months now. So we really need to talk about it, really.
Because you know what? We are a couple that is never breaking up.
Ever. We're not breaking up.
Ever.
You know what would be funny is if one of us got VE and the other one got GAN.
And where would that go? And it would have to be so we'd stand next to each other and they could read it all. So
I don't know. You're a little taller than I am, so we'd have to like.
Yours would be like on your thigh, and mine would have to be on my butt. I don't know. No, it would be the other way around. Are you up for a tattoo on your butt?
Heck, I've got tattoos on my butt.
Well, there we go. I haven't seen them.
Well, we're not, we're not that far along in our relationship. I'm saving myself.
Fair enough. I will be respectful of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Being respectful of my not yet.
Yes. You just take your time. I'm here for the long run.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel the love.
You're very welcome. Speaking of feeling the love, let's show some love to our listeners out there by getting into today's topic.
Let's do it. Which
is all about problems.
Yes.
I mean, not that I ever have any.
No, but I love problems. Problem solving is where it's at, really.
It really is, but don't ruin my talk.
Okay, I'm going to stop.
We're going to get there.
Okay, all right.
All right. So,
shutting my mouth. And that's a wrap. No.
All right. So when we talk about problems, this is what we're going to do in this episode, is really help you guys see them from a different angle than you're used to. So close your eyes for a moment, unless you're driving. Don't close your eyes if you're driving. If you're not driving, close your eyes. Think of a goal you're working towards in your life. Think of a goal that's out there that you'd really love to see happen quickly, but maybe it's a little farther off than you'd like. Stephanie, do you have one in mind?
I really want to do real push-ups. I do them, not real push-ups, because modified push-ups are still push-ups, but I really want to do them. I want to do like military style push-ups. And that's something that I have wanted to do for a long time and something that I am working towards now. But I don't think I'm going to get there like by the end of the month, even though that would be fantastic.
Even that's our move of the month.
It is. Yeah, it is our move of the month in Vegan Life Coach Academy.
Yes.
But
well, good. Yeah. That's a great goal. I love that goal. And we were actually chatting about this earlier. And if girl push-ups popped in your mind when we're talking about knee push-ups, let's get the vocabulary police, with our sirens on right now, because
yes,
we were just saying how awful girl push-ups is. Hello, I am a girl and I can give you 40 push-ups. 40 push-ups. So girl push-ups are whatever push-ups you want to do. Mm-hmm. Modified. Girl.
Yeah.
That's the correct term.
Modified. Yes. I said that incorrectly.
And I
you,
went.
You did. You immediately gave me a ticket.
Hands behind your back.
I was like, oh my gosh, I really am sexist. I didn't know this about myself. Yeah. But yes. No, any girl push-ups are any push-up a girl does.
This is correct, as are boy push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, off topic. We talk a lot about mindfulness, right? In Vegan Life Coach Academy, in this podcast, in everything that we do, as well as living in the present moment. Why is that? Well, because all we have is the present moment, right? And I love Eckart Tolle. I don't even know, is it Tolle or Tolle?
I always say Tolle.
I think it's Tolle.
I think it is too.
Okay. Eckart Tolle, in his Power of Now, which is one of my favorite books, says that now is all we have. And that's so true. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't mean we should not have goals for the future, but it means on our path to those goals, we can be present and live in gratitude and live in a place of abundance and put the positive energy out that we want to get back and have appreciation for what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. It's really, really important to be mindful as we move forward. And it's so easy to get caught up in the future and forget to live in the now. And one of the affirmations that I really like is, I release all negative thoughts about the past and all worries about the future. I am here now. That's one of mine.
I love that.
Yeah. So, one thing we think about when it comes to problems is that phrase, once I blank, I'll be happy. or I'll be at peace, or I'll be free from stress. Once I lose weight or land the right job or find my soulmate, everything's going to be butterflies and rainbows, right? Mm-hmm. We tend to think that one day we could be free from our problems. If only I had time to travel, or if only I lost 20 pounds, if only I could get a better night's sleep, then everything would change. Like there's some magical place that we'll get to, and we would be happy and free for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. What if we change that thinking and begin to come at it from a different angle, from a place of knowing the underlying issues? So, what we talk about that being for most people is that we're not good enough right now as we are. Yeah. We're kind of waiting or looking for the day that we can feel whole. Mm-hmm. When we don't feel whole, we feel incomplete because something hasn't happened yet. And we're waiting for that thing to happen so that we can feel like a whole person. But the reality is that we're already whole. Yeah. And if we really think about it, we already have so much. And it doesn't mean you don't want to shoot for more, but it's just like we talk about so often on this show. Accepting your body, as an example, as it is now, is a prerequisite for changing it. Mm-hmm. And it's the same for your entire life, because there is no arrival. We don't arrive at some place free from all our problems. There is no place on earth free from all problems. I mean, if you think about it, when you're single, you have one set of problems. Oh, I hate dating, right? If only I found the right guy to marry, everything would be fantastic in my life. And then when you find that guy and you get married, you think you've arrived, right, Stephanie? Once you arrive at the marriage, everything is just butterflies and rainbows, right?
It really is. It really is. I'm a testament to that.
Right. No, you just arrived at a whole new set of problems because of your new circumstances. So we're just basically exhausting ourselves trying to find freedom by avoiding negative emotions that we have due to problems, instead of accepting and allowing those problems to be there so that we can live in the moment and move forward. Why are we running around so stressed and anxious all of the time, trying to solve a problem, not realizing or believing or accepting that once that one problem is solved, there's going to be a new problem. It's just going to be a different problem. And what's that called? Life. That's called the human experience, as we like to say. And that's what we're here to do. That's what the human experience is all about. Having a problem, facing it, learning, evolving, and then having tools to better deal with the next problem that arises. So let's all take a deep breath here. Problems are simply a perception, our own perceptions of a situation. And that means problems are created in our minds. That's the only place that problems actually exist. It's simply our own perspective of what's going on in the world around us. Because what's a problem for one person could actually be an ideal circumstance for another. Right? If you think about someone who doesn't want a child and gets pregnant, that's a problem, right? Right. But if you're dying for kids and you're having trouble having them and then you get pregnant, it's the happiest day of your life. So the point is, problems are created in our minds, and what happens is that problems or situations, they cause negative emotions, and we're afraid of those negative emotions. So what do? We fight them. We fight to make those problems go away. We fight because we think there's something great on the other side of that problem and that we're not going to have any problems anymore. But that's not the case. We can learn to perceive situations in a way that will allow us or give ourselves permission to use them as an opportunity for growth. We can acknowledge or accept the problems that we have, even embrace the problems to some degree, like you were saying, Stephanie, because without them, we wouldn't be human, we wouldn't exist, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And we can accept the fact that we're going to face difficult situations in our lives. And those situations are going to cause negative emotions. And we don't need to run from that. By allowing those negative emotions to be there without acting on them, without trying to run and hide and numb and distract ourselves from them, that's how we prevent that dreaded self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And we talk about that word a lot because that's something that so many of our clients struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one sec. Hey, babe.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
We prevent the dreaded self-sabotage, which so many of our clients are dealing with. So many people that join Vegan Life Coach Academy. And we often don't even join. People don't join because of that reason. They're not like, oh, I self-sabotage, so I need to join Vegan Life Coach Academy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating, actually. Don't you think when people come in and they come in for one reason, and then one person kind of steps out and says, you know, I'm struggling with this thing. I overeat at night, and then I feel like crap in the morning, and then I feel guilty, and then I punish myself, then I beat myself up, and then I do it all again the next day. Yeah. And then 20 people are like, oh my God, me too. Oh, me too, me too, me too. Isn't that fascinating?
It is. And I think that really is the power of the group, is that, you know, we do, that is the part of the human experience, is self-sabotage, you know, that we do find ourselves in a loop. If we don't really face our problems and look at them from a new perspective as something to be, you know, to actually face down. Yeah. And we don't, then we tend to distract ourselves, and that gets us in that terrible loop.
Yes. And it's easy to say, right? Oh, just flip the switch.
Oh,
just
yeah.
shift your perspective. Right?
Very easy to say. Very easy to talk about.
Yes.
So hard to do.
Exactly. But we do have the tools to do it. And that's what we are teaching you guys here on the podcast. And that's what we teach in Vegan Life Coach Academy. And that the foundation for that is our self-empowerment coaching system. So we will keep going back to that a million times. You're never going to hear us not talk about it, because it is so powerful. So one of my coaching idols, Brooke Castillo, says that every obstacle to achieving a dream can become a to-do for achieving that dream. And I'm going to say that again because I think it's really brilliant. Every obstacle to achieving a dream can become a to-do for achieving that dream. And so think about it this way. If we decided that we didn't want problems in our lives, think about everything that you would be missing out on, every opportunity that you would not have a chance to take. And honestly, I wouldn't want a life without problems. That would mean no growth. That would mean not achieving any goals. I don't want that. Do you want that, Stephanie?
Certainly not. No, I'm a problem solver. I like that. I like being able to look at obstacles and see how I can overcome them. I think but that hasn't always been the case. That hasn't always been what I've been made of. So.
Yeah. Well, if we think about it, if we think about problems as part of the game of life.
Yes.
And that's one of my big ones. You've probably heard me say it before. I love to talk about playing life like a game. Well, games wouldn't be fun. I mean, board games, what do? You run into problems in your board game, and it's a game. It's something that you play. So life is no different. We need those challenges. We need to keep it interesting. It keeps it ultimately fun. It breathes life into us. And as soon as you accept that you have the power to write a different story about your problems, about your life, about yourself, about what you think you're capable of, when we have that empowerment piece, we can perceive our problems in a productive way and take action to solve them. Yeah. And we can think about it like a game. And that's what the self-empowerment coaching system helps you do. In that system, the problem is the circumstance. And that problem, that circumstance, is going to cause negative emotions. But that's when we can take a pause. We can step back. We can think about the thoughts that are creating those negative emotions, and we get to choose new thoughts that serve us. We get to choose to problem solve. And it really does become kind of fun, even when they really are problems. So once we take the action based on our new thoughts, we can really engage in that game and work on solving that problem. But we don't need to be in this huge rush all the time.
Yeah.
We can take a deep breath. We can relax a bit. There's no big rush because there's no arrival. We don't have to walk around in a hurry all day, every day, flying by the seat of our pants, trying to solve the current problem, because there's just going to be another one waiting for you to solve once you solve that current one. So it's all good. It's called life. Let's take a breath. Let's live for the now.
Yeah.
So I hope this has helped. I hope it helps also have a sense of gratitude, to live in a place of gratitude. And one closing quote I want to give, and I love me some Albert Einstein, who was vegetarian. He says, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." Brilliant. I love how he's brilliant, not just in like the mathematical sense, but in the philosophical sense. Like, he was a brilliant man in so many ways.
So many ways. And someone who made a life of solving problems.
Yes. So appropriate.
Incredibly appropriate.
Did I think about that when I wrote that? I don't know. I don't know if I even did, that he solved mathematical problems as that was his thing. I don't even think
but it wasn't just, but you're right. It wasn't just mathematical problems. I mean, it was world problems. Yeah. It was problems about your thinking. It was problems about the way we view life and the way we view people. And yeah, he made a whole life of it.
Yes. So we're going to challenge you right now to take a deep breath, to take a step back, to know that it's going to require some new thoughts, some new ways of thinking, to be able to solve problems, move forward, and play life like a game.
Very cool.
Yay. Awesome. I hope this was helpful, you guys. I had so much fun talking about it, and we will see you next time.
Until next time.